Amidst the bustling crowds at Dallas Fort Worth International Airport, DFW, Sarah offered a faint smile, one hand gently caressing her pregnant belly. Though a bit tired, she was excited about her upcoming trip. But then her smile vanished as a German shepherd named Max suddenly stopped, tensed, and began barking intensely towards her. Sarah's eyes widened in shock. Officer Jake Miller, Max's handler, immediately took notice. He knew Max didn't act on impulse. He was trained to detect threats, drugs, explosives. Max, Jake's K-9 partner for 5 years with a near-flawless record, never gave false alerts. This time was different. His gaze locked onto Sarah as if she were hiding something incredibly dangerous. Sarah took an anxious step back, her other hand also protectively covering her belly. "Please make him stop," she pleaded, looking around desperately. But Max didn't back down. He growled, muscles taut. A nearby TSA officer stepped forward. "Ma'am, we need to ask you a few questions," he stated firmly. Sarah's face turned pale. "I don't understand. I haven't done anything wrong." Her voice trembled, panic creeping in. She fumbled nervously for her boarding pass, hands shaking, trying to understand what she'd done wrong. Passengers around them began whispering, some looking suspicious, others concerned. Jake hesitated. Trusting his four-legged partner's sharp instincts, he made the call. "We need to take her in for further screening," he said. Two uniformed officers gently but firmly escorted Sarah towards a private security screening room. Her breathing was rapid, her hands clutching her belly. "Please," she begged, "I don't know what's happening." Jake followed closely behind with Max, who still refused to calm down, his sharp eyes fixed on the woman. Inside the screening room, a female TSA officer carefully searched Sarah's belongings, while another prepared for a body scan. "Do you have any medical conditions we should know about?" the female officer asked softly. The officer spoke gently, but couldn't help noticing the beads of sweat already forming on Sarah's forehead, rather unusual for the cool room. Sarah shook her head. "No. I mean, I'm 7 months pregnant, that's all." Her voice wavered. Meanwhile, outside the room, Max paced back and forth, whining and scratching at the door. Through the closed door, Jake could hear the escalating urgency in Max's scratches and whines, a sense of unease creeping into his own gut. This wasn't normal. If it wasn't contraband, then what? Then suddenly, Sarah gasped and clutched her stomach, a look of shock and extreme pain contorting her face. "Something's wrong," she whispered, her voice trembling. Her breathing grew labored, her face screwed up in agony. Jake's instincts kicked in. "Get medical assistance now," he yelled. Sarah's legs buckled, and she collapsed into a chair, her body trembling. Outside, Max became frantic, his scratching and distressed whining intensifying. The officer searching her bag stepped back, momentarily stunned. "Is she going into labor?" he muttered. Sarah shook her head violently. "No, no, it's too early," she gasped, tears welling in her eyes. "Please help me." An EMT team rushed in. The lead medic knelt beside her. "Ma'am, stay with us. We need to get you to a hospital immediately." Jake's heart pounded. This was a fight for survival. The EMTs worked swiftly, checking her vital signs. "Her pulse is erratic," one murmured. "We need to move now." As they prepared to transport her, Max suddenly lunged forward, not aggressively, but nudging insistently with his nose near her lower abdomen, before Jake managed to pull him back slightly. At the same time, an EMT checking her stomach noticed something unusual. "Wait," he said, his eyes narrowing. He pressed carefully again. A moment later, the EMT's expression changed drastically, his usual professional calm vanishing, replaced by a look of sheer horror. He froze. He turned to Jake, his face grim. "There's an internal rupture. If we don't get her into surgery right now, neither she nor the baby will make it." The blood ran cold in Jake's veins. Max had been right. He hadn't sensed contraband. He had sensed mortal danger. The airport erupted into chaos as the EMTs rushed Sarah's gurney toward the ambulance, their voices sharp with urgency. Jake and Max ran alongside. Sarah's breathing was shallow now, her eyes fluttering. "Stay with us," an EMT urged. Max, usually composed, whined anxiously, his eyes never leaving Sarah. As they lifted her into the ambulance, Sarah turned her head slightly, her lips trembling. "Thank you," she whispered, looking directly at Max. The German shepherd let out a soft, answering whimper. Jake gave him a reassuring pat. "You did good, buddy." The ambulance doors slammed shut. Sirens wailed, and it sped away. Would they make it in time? Hours passed agonizingly. Jake sat outside the hospital with Max by his side. Finally, a doctor approached. After a heart-stopping pause, the doctor offered a small smile. "She made it," he said. "Both mother and baby are stable." Jake exhaled, a massive wave of relief washing over him. "Thank God," he muttered. The doctor continued. "It was an undetected internal rupture. If she hadn't gotten medical attention when she did..." He shook his head in amazement. "I don't know how your dog sensed it, but he saved their lives." Just then, a nurse approached, heading straight for Jake. "Officer," she said quietly, "the patient specifically wanted you to have this, for your partner." She handed Jake a folded piece of paper. Jake unfolded it. There were only a few words, but they made his throat tighten. "Tell the dog he's my guardian angel." Jake turned to look at Max, who was still waiting patiently. He knelt down, holding the note out in front of his loyal partner. "Listen to this, buddy," he read softly. Max looked up at him, then let out a soft whine and nudged his head against Jake's hand, as if understanding the profound gratitude meant for him. Amidst the relief and pride, Jake knew Max wasn't just a canine partner. He was a silent hero of DFW Airport.